Here we go. So I'm going to give you a link that's going to take you to this website. This is the first step in downloading Pro Tools First. And what you need to do is create an account. So even those of you who got computers with First already loaded on it, you still need to do this and create an account. You won't do the downloading part, but you will have to do this part. I have made some new accounts for myself. I've sent it off to my email account, submit. It's thinking. Okay, so so an iLok is essentially the copy protection for Pro Tools. It can often be a physical um, uh, dongle, so to speak. But what we're going to do is you have to create an account. So just go ahead and create an account using the same email, password, and link it essentially. So what is my Avid password? I just made it. And hit create. It's thinking what kind of music, blah, blah, blah. You know, you could throw something in here. You don't need to. I don't think you need to. Soundtrap. No, I'm going to just leave it as. Yeah, why not? We're upgrading. Oops. Who's not going to get their phone call today? What kind of projects? Audio, electronic music, all that kind of stuff. You are currently students, so might as well put that in there because there are student discounts. So if you ever do decide, they're probably going to pitch to upgrade, you can get a deal. Email my download links. Okay. Okay, let's go check our email. Hopefully it gets there pretty soon. Oh, I got it. Look at that. Okay, so this is an acknowledgement that the iLok account was created for you. And here is the download link. So, are you on a Mac or are you on a PC? I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to go ahead with this downloader. It is 1.74 gig. The Windows one is a gig bigger, but here we go. And please remember, if you don't have unlimited data, or if you're using a hotspot, let me know and I'll get you these downloaders in some way. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. Once we have gone ahead and hit download, so that took about 3 minutes to download in my system. I will say I left off kind of wondering why it had blocked the download, and really there was a button here, a button that said keep, and that's all I needed to do was click on keep. It was just kind of saying, hey, where's this coming from? And it's coming from a very reputable company, so not to worry about that. It downloaded again in about 3 minutes. So I'm going to go, I could click here actually, but I'm also just going to kind of walk through how often I would do this. So in my downloads folder is the disk image, okay? And a disk image is essentially a compressed file. So I'm going to double click on that and open it up. There you go. Okay, so now we have the installer available to us. I'm not that interested in documentation. If you're interested, go ahead. I'm just going to double click on the install first, the package. Okay, I'm going to hit continue. This is kind of telling me some stuff that this is going to lead you through it. Read all this, read, or don't. I do agree. It's going to take 1.7 gigs of space. Go. All right, so I'm closing the application so I can go ahead. I need to put in a password. This is for my computer, so hopefully everyone's aware of any passwords they have on their own machines. Okay, so even though it said 30 minutes, it was much faster than that. Installation was successful. I'm going to go ahead and close. All right, I do not need the installer anymore, so you can go ahead and move it to the trash for me. Thank you very much. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get us to download some additional content that's available, but not from this not from this link. So you do need to go to your account, which is right. Well, let's see if I can just click on this thing to get us there. Yeah, okay, so that gets me into my account. I'm already signed in because I guess I was already signed in when I created my account. When I created the account, if it doesn't get you right in, just make sure to sign in with the email account and password that you created. I'm going to go to view my products, okay? And this is going to essentially show me that I have two products, Avid Link and Pro Tools First. If I click on Pro Tools First, it just tells me some account stuff. It tells me that I can upgrade. View download, software download links and product details. Let's click on that. Now, this is where you could have done everything from here, okay? So, for example, there is the download for Pro Tools First, the disk image. You can go to Windows and get Windows stuff. So this is going to be all the same essentially for Mac and Windows in terms of the products that I want you to go ahead and download. I'm going to do it on the Mac. So I want to get this Plug Sound Avid Edition. It's actually another soft synth. And then I'm going to go ahead and get the UVI Workstation 3.05 Mac. All right, so obviously this is fairly big at 2.25 gigs, and this is 241 megabytes. Is there anything else I need? Okay, all these. All right, so that's done. So I'm going to go ahead and head back to my downloads folder. I'm done with this. I'm going to open up the disk image for the UVI Workstation, and I am going to wait for that because this computer is so slow. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and install the package. Continue. Continue. I've read every word and I agree. Install 378K RMB. So UVI Workstation. Falcon this is not like the full-fledged version of this product, but it's kind of a light version, but I kind of feel like as many different instruments we can get our hands on, the better. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close this. Now you can move it to the trash. Now, this UFS, this is just a huge file of presets and sounds. So I'm going to actually just move this to my documents folder. Okay. Theoretically, you can put it anywhere. I'm going to do a quick startup of Pro Tools and see what this thing looks like. Walk through a couple things with you guys. And just see what it looks like, because I've never really used this. So I'm going to go to my applications folder, which is hopefully where this thing is installed. And I found it. I'm going to go ahead and jump to making sure that I have, oh, it's on my dock already. They're smarter than I am. Look at that. They already threw it on the dock. All right, so I'm just going to start up Pro Tools from there. I like that the background here is white. The classic Pro Tools is black. I wonder if that's, oh, okay. So here I need to go ahead and log in. Now, I'm going to explain that in a second when my brain cells aren't focused on typing in this new email account that I've used twice. All right, so keep me signed in because I don't want to do that a whole lot. Okay, so you do need to be attached to the internet in order to use Pro Tools First. I do not have, I can't do a selfie shot right now But I have a hardware dongle that I use for the full version of Pro Tools. You can also use what's called cloud-based iLok. And for the cloud-based iLok, you do need to be connected to the internet, and that's what you have with Pro Tools first. So keep that simple. Let's see, while this is starting up, because it's super slow, I will say, Pro Tools will optimize the workspace database file. Okay, this is probably not going to show up on your computers because, again, this is, I think, referencing my old version. Back up your workspace file, hit quit. Nah, I really don't care. I haven't used Pro Tools on this machine in years. All right, so I'm guessing that you won't see that message. So it's not going to take this long every time. You can see that it's installing stuff because it's the first time that we're using it. That's not a good sound. We never liked that sound, but it didn't tell me anything. What I was going to say is Pro Tools first is cloud-based. So some of your sessions, your projects, can be stored in the cloud, but you can also store them locally on your hard drive. The only reason really to have them stored in the cloud is that there are some collaboration functions in Pro Tools. I have never used them and the reviews are not great. And only those 3 cloud-based sessions at any one time would be available for collaboration. We might explore that at some point, not sure. That being said, once we actually get to see Pro Tools, I'll show you how that all looks and means, I think. It's loading plugins. Okay, so the playback engine. The playback engine is essentially where where sound is going to be coming out of for your computer. So most everybody here, it's going to be the computer, unless you're going to connect an interface to it. If you have an interface, in that case, you would want to connect your interface to your computer before launching Pro Tools, and I'll kind of explain that if I get a chance. So the playback engine for all of us, I think this is kind of pre-built, is the Pro Tools Aggregate I/O. But like if this doesn't show up, this might not, because this might all be from my old system setups. System setup. You know, it's reading that I do have a Zoom audio device. We might talk about that. Worst case scenario, all you have is built-in mic and built-in output. You would choose built-in output. Video, but then it showed up again. So I didn't save the project. I was going to start over, but here I go. I'm just going to call this one test. Okay, I'm not creating it from a template, so I uncheck that, and I'm going to go ahead and hit create. I still don't know where these are saving to, so we're going to discover that. We have our edit window, we have our mix window, okay? You can flip between them by